inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Well, hello there, everyone. How are you doing this morning? Oh, man. Or afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening to the podcast. And always, thank you so much for still allowing this to be a voice of reason, inspiration, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, whatever it is that it is for you. But thank you for being a faithful listener. I'm going to talk to you today about some of the real deal holy field that goes on this journey. And if you saw the title of it, you should know better. But at the same time, we're going to have a candid conversation about failure. You are supposed to fail. Not indefinitely, but you are supposed to fail. I don't get it. I haven't been able to get it, and I will never be able to get it. How some people come out here with this gimmicky ass marketing that basically says, I've got the solution. I have the solution that you need. If you just get this email series, it's the one that'll convert. If you just follow my webinar secrets, it's the thing that's going to, convert into cash. If you just use my funnel, you're going to hit 6 figures in 6 days. And I'm sorry, failure is part of the playbook. And even if someone seriously does have the golden goose, you're going to have to implement what they give you over and over and over again. I remember the first coach I hired, the real coach. I always say first coach, but I say it from the perspective of it was a real investment. Somebody who listened to me, somebody who cared about me. And I did everything she told me to do to the letter. And I even went above and beyond all of the things that she told me to do. And when I hosted my first online event, I low-key basically felt like a failure because the results were not exactly what I wanted them to be. But it didn't stop me. I turned right back around and 60 days later put on another summit that was of greater success. Now, what ended up happening is that I tweaked my process and I tweaked the way that I went about connecting with people. I had grown my audience. I had more followers. And I had already put a very serious impression in the mind of many people. So getting them to come back around and spend with me was a no-brainer.
And then I began to realize that what I thought was a failure, because I still didn't hit that 10K summit, I realized in retrospect, when I was able to go back, not even months later, not even years later, but months later, I was like, wait a minute. This person was at the first summit. They were at the second summit, and now they're one-to-one clients, or this person's in my group, or this person's buying my books, or this person's buying this. And I was able to make in excess of $30,000 from the people who came through my summit. But I would have missed it if the only thing that I tripped off of is the fact that when I did everything my coach told me to do, I didn't make as much money as I wanted to. And for those of you who heard the episode yesterday, that hiring a coach, it's not the answer. It's the last thing you need to do. Not saying don't hire one, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so failing is what allows you to learn if you take the time to do it. There were some other pains that I felt after doing my first 2 summits that I did take a year hiatus. I do them all the time now, but even that was a failure. The fact that I didn't stick with it and that I didn't keep going. And you know what? My business paid the penalty for that. My business paid the penalty for me not getting what I wanted, not feeling the way I wanted, and not continuing to move forward. And what ended up happening is that my income ballooned. It was ballooning rapidly, to the degree that, my husband didn't even have to work anymore if he didn't want to. But that's a whole nother other story. Men, they got to do what they got to do. But anyway, and then I realized that my income kind of kept trickling down, and I got nervous. I'm like, if it trickles down any further, I'm going to be right back where I started. And I was pushing, and I was pressing, and I was trying, and I was showing up. And then I realized that once the gift that was given to me had been abandoned, that I actually shut off the valve on my own money. And all it took was for last year, for me to get back in the saddle and start doing my summits again, and doing them again now this year, for me to experience that explosive growth. And it was almost like a miracle, the way everything just turned back around. And I'm very grateful that in 2019, I started going hardcore, because now here we are in 2020. So with what I had preserved of a tribe, and the new tribe that I began to bring in last year, and continuing to do what I'm doing this year, during a time like COVID, I am still seeing growth in my business, growth in my income. And so you guys, you have to keep going. Failing is so that you can look and say, what in the world can I do differently? What can I do better? What should I eliminate? I still had some issues, and you always have issues, especially, for instance, in my line of work where I do a lot of collaborations. But even with those issues that came up, it helped me tighten up my processes. It helped me, look at my values and say, maybe I need to reiterate or emphasize this more. And so many of you, the reason why you're going to end up quitting on your dream is because you don't realize that failure is absolutely necessary. You're supposed to fail. If you just got out here and did something and it worked, then you wouldn't understand what it means to pivot. And not to take something out of context, but I remember listening to someone, and she was like, I know when I see a business owner that really doesn't know when they use it, I hate the word pivot, And she just went on this rant, and I listened to her so that I could get into context. What does she mean by the word pivot? And I'm sitting here wondering to myself right now, aside from the fact that maybe she could have had money invested in real estate, stocks, or something else, I'm sitting here thinking to myself now, is she pivoting? Because everybody's pivoting in COVID, are they not? Restaurants are pivoting. If they just surrender to the fact that they aren't open, they wouldn't make any money. I look at some of these restaurants and I'm like, are there literally 30 cars in a line to, get a steak meal or whatever? And they are. More stores are doing deliveries. People that were not online are realizing the need to be online. Failure is good because it teaches you how to pivot. Entrepreneurship is just like a sport. And sometimes in football, you got to call the fucking audible. And so you sometimes got to call for a timeout. You got to come back. You got to pay attention to what's happening. You know, I loved it in one interview I had with a young lady. You could be so offensive, you know, in the offense that you forget to, you know, look at how your defensive strategy needs to move. And so there were some things that I was going to do in my business, but I thank God for divine wisdom that I began to move a different way. And so this pivot has me prospering during COVID. And not because I'm running scams, not because I'm telling people get rich quick schemes, but because I am truly vested in the people and creating products and services and helping other people so that they can navigate and they can prosper through COVID too. But you know what? I even had to take the chance that when I put these offers out here, that guess what? That they might fail. So what are you afraid of messing up? Go ahead and write the book. Do it. You go find out that you did a shitty job marketing so that you can do a better one. That means that you need to go back. You need to write another book. Go ahead and launch the course and only have, 2-3 people sign up and figure out what it was and how you didn't take accountability for your own power and how you didn't get out there and start going after your money and reach out to people or find out how poorly your ability to connect is. Go ahead and put that offer out there and then realize that you can't just put offers out. You actually do need to learn how to write copy. Go ahead and put that mixed ass message out there that says you're going to help everybody and nobody gets it because you're so busy trying to connect with everybody that you resonate with no one. Go ahead and do it and get frustrated and get so frustrated that you just be like, what in the hell do I need to do? Like, get that frustrated that you ask yourself that question because then your mind will tell you exactly what you need to do. And when your intense spirit and energy is like, I need to figure out what to do, you'll get the guidance that you need. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But a lot of times that sense of urgency and that fervor that you need to move forward doesn't hit until you get out there and you fucking fail. And then what you end up needing to do is you need to turn your butt around and you need to get in the midst of sound wisdom. Yes, you do. Many of you, what you want to see in your business, you're going to keep going around and around in circles and taking your time and trying to figure this out on your own. Or you're going to listen and you're going to get sound guidance and you're going to let somebody like me who already went through the school of hard knocks say, listen, just start off this way. Do these things. Stay diligent and persistent. And if you do the things, you'll reap the benefits. I have a former client right now who's still, doing her business, but I look every once in a while and I just sit there and say to myself, man, I don't know why this woman won't just do what I've been telling her to do for years. I know that there's a particular event that she wants to host. And I still look at how she's not making the connection with her current clientele to help be the voice of this thing that she has going on. And there's several other things that I could look at and say, why isn't she doing it? Well, if she keeps on failing and failing at that income goal long enough, then maybe her eyes will open up and she'll implement what I've been telling her for God knows how long. See, I'm a coach. You can't always judge a person's success or lack thereof based on the coach that they have. A lot of times you got to look at the shit that the person is or is not doing. And if you see a whole bunch of other people around a coach being successful, then you know that person has some things they need to overcome and they're a little stubborn. But so what's your dilemma? What's your dilemma with your business? Is it copywriting? Is it understanding what and when to say something in your emails? Is it really honing down your niche and identifying your ideal client? Is it because you don't, know how to do effective reach outs? Are you not capitalizing on testimonies? I don't know what it is. I guarantee you that if you come to the Authentic Collective Academy, that the answer is there. Yes, I do. I guarantee you, if you've started your business, and especially online, if you feel like you have hit a plateau and you don't know where to go and you don't know what to do, it's time for you to get around a group of women that are thrusting and thriving and get around a coach who is a leader that's going to give you very thorough information. And guess what? Right now, it's only $25.99 a month. Do not miss the opportunity to get in on this awesome deal. Yeah, go ahead and consider it to be COVID pricing. $24.99. I'm sorry. And if you come through an iPhone because of their silly fees, it's $32.99. I highly suggest that you enroll on your desktop, just real, so you can avoid the extra fees. But anywho, so that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. You know where to find me. You go to augustcrenshaw.com. Surf around the website. If you go to the Academy tab, you can see it's not an exhaustive list, but you can see what all is going to be covered. It's open enrollment. You come in and you just get in flow and start where you're ready. And we're going to have a great time. Okay. Come on in. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.